All right, guys. So I was saying that we are going to create this flyer from the scratch. So I was saying that we're going to create this flyer from the scratch. So whenever so in this flyer design, there are many things that we are going to undergo in this flyer design. One is a background creation. Two is color grading of the pictures. And three is the test effects. How you can create test effects on Photoshop. Please just mute your mic. All right. Just anything that you want, just type on the group. I will be checking the group to send a message. I'll be checking the group to send a message. So let's continue. So this flyer now, we are going to start from the scratch. For you to create this, the size of this current flyer now is 4x5, 3x4, because it's a flares and we are going to create it from the scratch. So the width of this is 4, while the height is 3. So I leave the resolution at 600. Then the color mode here now is at RGB. When we use RGB, RGB is for printing, is for online works. That's for screen work. That's red, green, and blue. That's the color mode. Then for CMYK is for the work that is going to be printed. It's going to be printed like other machines that we use for printing. So I'm going to leave it at RGB so that we can equally create it. Then after you are done, leave it like this and create and press create. So this is the first screen that you see. This is the first thing that then after you have created your page setup, the next thing that you're going to do now is to do what? Bring down your rulers for alignment so that everything that you do will just be inside this box. All right. So after we have done this, the next stage we are going to do now is to do what? Bring in the backgrounds that are used for this work. So we are going to bring in the backgrounds that are used for this work. So you drag it inside and wait for it. All right. So like I told you guys, for proper contrast, the top.
Sir, please, can you record this session?
Yes, it's being recorded.
Okay, thank you.
So you can see that from this now, once we are done, once we are bringing this in, like I told you guys, on contrast, if the background is dark, we are going to use light stuff on it. So, and you can see that the top of this background now is light, and the down of this thing is what dark. So we are going to use this background like this. We have set it in a way that is going to be good for our work. So you can see it now. The next thing we are going to do now is to blur this. You can get your blur from the filter and come here. You can see the blur. You can see how much radius I use for it. 4 points. I can equally increase it. So this is it now. Then I'm going to import the next one now. I'm using only 2 backgrounds for this work, so that we can equally maximize what we want. So you can see now, this is the second one. So after you have bring in the second one, what you are going to do now is to bring the brush. We are going to erase this. Just what we need now is just only the top, not the ground. You can see this smart object must be rasterized before what proceeding to edit. Don't just click OK. It will rasterize. So when it's rasterized now, you just clean this damn place. Then press Ctrl T and enlarge this a bit. Alright, after you have done this, then you change the blending mode to screen. You change the blending mode to screen. So you can see it. After you have changed the blending mode to screen, the next thing we are going to do now is to do what? Is to color grade the background first of all, so that the background we have the same color. The first thing we do now is to desaturate it. Like I told you guys, desaturation in anything is just like when you have your house that has old color and you want to give it a new color. What you need to do is that you will first of all remove the old colors, the old paint, so that when you give it a new paint, it will equally last and it will equally come out. So that's the reason why we are doing this on the background. So we are going to desaturate it so that it will have the same color. Alright, so after we have done this now, we'll bring in the what? Gradient map. We bring in the gradient map. Then click here. We are going to set the colors of the gradient map. So under this light one now, I'm going to just press the color. Press the color stuff so that we won't waste our time. The color code FFF 078. Sorry, I made a mistake. The gradient, this thing is supposed to be, let me check. Four one 0 1 0 1. Then the second one will be F 8000 C. So you can see now, this is just this now is just the perfect stuff. Now what we do now is to change the blending mode to screen. Have you seen it? We change the blending mode to screen to give it the stuff that I want. If you can see here, you can see now. We change it to screen. All right. So on this side a little, we are going to blur this thing a little bit so that we will not have so that everything will rhyme together. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to bring in the pictures. Those pictures that we are going to use for this work now. We are going to bring in these pictures from here. Let me just mark all of them so that you can equally bring them and color grade them at once. You just bring it in I. All right. If you can see that they are having dark color. We're going to bring in this. We're going to shift this gradient stuff down so that it won't affect our picture. So after we have done, let's first of all create some. Just group this picture, this background. Just hold Shift on your keyboard. Then click this red place. After you have done that, just press Ctrl G, that's to group. Then we will name it what? Background. Why are we doing this? So that what we are doing will not affect every other place. Background. Then we lock it. Alright, you can see now these pictures now. First of all, now just press Ctrl T just to reduce it a little bit. We are going to reduce all the pictures, then arrange it. And arrange it the way that we want for this work. According to this thing, the main host here now is the bishop. According to Methodist hierarchy in pastoral movement, is the bishop is the highest. So we are going to keep him in the middle. And other ones will be by their side. So other guest preachers will be on their side and the ministers. So this is what you do whenever you are doing this kind of thing. You ask yourself, what style am I going to use? Is it the horizontal alignment stuff or one-sided? But for this work, we are going to use the horizontal side. So this bishop now, what you're going to do now is to enlarge the bishop. Is to enlarge the bishop. So before then, we'll bring another ruler here. We'll enlarge the bishop. Alright. You can see from the old one. So after you have bring the bishop, let me check something whether we can. You right click here. No, it will not be good. Then bring the other bishop, the other reverend. All right. Then bring this man of God. Because these are the preachers. These are the preachers. These are the preachers. So that you won't make mistake. Just make sure that this line you are looking this line so that you won't make mistake. And again, whenever you are doing this thing, make sure that their head have the same size. It will help you very well. Let me widen the this thing. I'm going to rotate this bishop so that you can get what we want. Then this is the youth president. Just be careful here so that all right. So once we are done with this thing now, once we are done now, what we're going to do now is to reduce all of them. Just once you click on this one, you hold shift on your keyboard, then click on this one. It will highlight all of them. Then you press Ctrl T. Ctrl T is for transforming. Then you reduce it. Why we do this so that we can have much space, so that we can arrange it very well for the last time. So after we are done like this now, let's wait for it. You can see. Just watch this and watch the way they are now. Watch the way they are now. All right. So give them space. Please mute your mic, mute your mic. Mute your mic, mute your mic. Who is that? Mute your mic, mute your mic. Who is that? Mute your mic, please. All right, now let's continue. Okay. So after we have done this now, you can see how they are now. After we have done this now, the next thing we are going to do now is to just start to color grade them so that we won't waste our time here on these ones. They are not bold. Let me make the picture bold. All right, so we are going to color grade the pictures now. We are going to color grade the pictures now. All right, so I'm sure now. Let's just start to color grade the pictures. So we're going to start with this one, divinity. All right, now let's just start. So let's just start now. So this divinity. First of all, curve. Make sure you click here so that it will be for only him. Then you raise the curve a little bit. Then the second one is what? Black and white. Then you make sure that it's for only him. Then come here, change it to soft light. Then come to opacity and reduce it. Either 35 or 32 is okay. Then after that, you do what? You desaturate it again. After you have done that, this is this guy with suit now. We are starting this guy. So after you have done that, the next thing now you do now is to bring the color balance. Then the color balance now is when we are giving it our own color. The desaturation is to remove the main color that is having, to give it our own color. Then add it a little red, then a little magenta, a little yellow. Then come to the highlight, red, a little magenta, a little yellow. Then come here, come to the shadow, the same thing. Just watch the picture so that it won't have too much stuff. Then you can see now this one is done. We are done with this one. Just highlight it and hold shift on your keyboard and click on here. Then right click on it. Convert to smart object. We are done with this one. Then the next one is this man. You come here, curve, we raise the curve a little bit, then black and white for him. Then we'll come back to layers. Under black and white, we change the blending mode to what? Soft light. Then the opacity, we reduce it. At least 28 is okay for this man. Then the next thing now we do now is the desaturation. Then desaturate it. Then the last one now is the color balancing. We are going to add red here, magenta, yellow. Then same thing, a little big red, magenta, yellow. Because it's like we are going to reduce the curve because of the brightness is too much. We are going to reduce the curve. So this is okay. Let's reduce the curve. Just come here and click on curve and reduce the curve. The curve is too much. Then it's okay. Then from there, you click this one and hold your shift on your keyboard and highlight all of them and right click and convert to smart object. While we are converting it to smart object so that we can easily edit it when what we want, we didn't see it. So this man now, the next thing we are going to do to this man is the same stuff. Make sure you bring it here, black and white. Then change it to soft light. Then opacity, you bring it at least 36 is okay on this man. Then you desaturate. Alright, then the last one now is what? Color balance, red, yellow, magenta. Highlights, red. You can see it's having the same color. Shadow. You can see now all of them are having the same color. Then we come, after we are done, you click on this one, then highlight it, then convert to smart objects. Alright, the next one now is what? The bishop. Our normal way, like this, like this. After that, black and white. Make sure that these clip marks now, this thing, just follow my mouse now. You are clicking on it so that it will be for only this man. Then come to layers, change it to soft light, the blending mode, the opacity, 34 or 30 is okay. Then, let me delete this one. After the listen, use saturation. You desaturate it. Then the next one is what? The color balance. Then the highlights, add it red because the picture is lacking red. Then under shadow, We are going to reduce the light because the light is very, very much. Reduce the magenta a little bit. I want to reduce the light. The light is very much. Then let's go to the light. The light, that is the curve. The yellow is too much. Let's go back to the color balancing. The yellow is very much. Mid-tone. Right. All right, we have now gotten the color. You can see the face of the bishop and the face of this man is the same thing. So I haven't gotten this in our same way. You do what? Convert to smart object. Then come to this reverend. That's the next man. Same thing. Let me just be fast on this so that I won't waste our time, because the line is already at the dot. So all right. Who is that? Please mute your mic. I want to make sure that I shape the hair of this man, because I don't like how bushy it is. All right, so I haven't done that. You right click here and rasterize this picture, then delete. Then before we start collaborating this one, then the next one now is what? So the next one now is this one. Is the last one. Then after we are done with this, what we are going to do now is to come to camera raw to do the final one. Then use the soft light. Use saturation. Then after you use saturation, then we start the stuff. Are you people still online? Okay, only 7 people are online. All right. Okay. You know, with this thing now. Okay, Stanley. Okay, now you can see that some of them are having different color, especially this pastor now. Now what's going on? All right, okay. We are back again. So after you have done this now, the next thing we are going to do is now to do the final color grading, which will be on the camera raw. I want to make sure that we got something before we finish this too.
So I cannot see your screen. No.
All right, can you see my screen now? Can you now see my screen? What's going on now? Oh. Hi. Seriously, today's network is very, very bad. It's very, very bad. All right. Can you see my screen now? Huh? Can you now see my screen? Just all right. Can you see my screen now? Just reply. Just reply. Can you see my screen? Let's continue. Nelson, can you see my screen? If you can see my screen.
I can see you. I can see your screen, sir.
Okay. All right. So this is the camera roll now. Is this camera roll now? We are going to do the final effect. So the first one now, when you come to camera roll, there are stuff that you need to know. Just a little bit exposure. The exposure will not be much. Then the main thing now is you add a clarity to make the picture look real, and a little dehaze, and a little bit the texture. When you add clarity to make the picture look like artistical work, that's where we do the final stuff. So let's see how you can see how the stuff is on this man. So we come to this one, the same thing. So that it will have this artistical nature, artistical feel. A little bit they has texture, then a little bit this one. Can equally increase the clarity self. Then we'll come to this man, come to camera raw filter, come to just a little bit exposure, texture will be there, clarity will be there. This is where the main effect is being done. Can you reduce it a little bit then? Okay. Then the next one now, come to filter. So this is how you do all of them to have that artistical feel stuff. Just come here, texture, clarity. Use the clarity of this one before this one will be like a hair. That's okay. You can see now they are having artistical feel texture. Then come to filter, go to camera raw. Then the texture, then add a clarity. Then the has a little bit, okay. Then the same stuff for this man. This stuff. So this is how you do this one. Then the last one now is this one. Then clarity. Okay. So after you have done this like this now, what you need to do now is to group all of them. Just click one. Who is that? Mute your mic, then highlight all of them. After you have highlighted all of them, then press Ctrl G. Then what you do, you label it pictures. Then these pictures now, what you are going to do now, just press Ctrl J on your keyboard to duplicate it. Let's just wait for it. So while we are trying to duplicate this thing is that I want to just cut out the picture. And while we are duplicating this picture is that in case the way that the other ones are, we don't like it, we can equally go back to the old ones and use it. So let's just wait for it after it's loading. Alright, you can come here and make sure that the eye is not showing. Then like this now, just press Ctrl E to enlarge all area. Just Ctrl E. You can see now, it's now one picture. Alright, I haven't done that. Just come here and select this one. After you have selected, just press Ctrl J. Ctrl J. Alright. Then come here and delete this one. Alright. So this one now is what you are going to use for the work. So after this one now, Ctrl T, let's just so after this one now, the next thing now is to start adding the other stuff. So you can see here now, you can see here this one now, you can see this one now. So what you're going to do now is to make sure that the pictures are bold. Just make sure that it is in the middle. So then after you have done that, just click on this one, lock it. Then the next thing we are going to do now is to create another layer. This one layer will just be like this. Then come here, this blue plate, just come here and select here. Click on here. Then why we do this now is to make sure that we bring another layer that will cover this. Stuff so that it will be faded with the background and every other thing will blend. We will come to brush tool. Then make sure that the brush tool is the size is so okay. Now we start doing what? We start painting. So now let's just say we are done with this now. The next thing we do in this thing now is to come to blur. That same stuff that we painted and make the blur here. Ctrl T, then rotate. All right. So this is just the thing that I did here. Then the next thing now we're going to do is to create that text effect. That text effect that we do here now, this evoke. This evoke now is the next thing we are going to create now. This evoke, because that's the stuff that I can see is very distinct. Then now let's come here. Evoke. The font I use here is Moments Extended. Then under Moments Extended, I make it ultra bold. Then increase it. 60 is too much, at least that kind, 36. Then just bring it here. Then use Ctrl T to enlarge it the more, to scale it. All right. So go back to here and press Ctrl T. This place so that. All right. Then lock here, lock the background. Anything that you do, lock so that it will affect another ones. So now this is where now we are going to do the text effect. So When you have this type of thing now, the first thing that will come to your mind now is to do what? Go to the blending option. Just come here, right click on here, go to blending option. You see now we are going to do the magic and every other thing. So first of all, you come to bevel, and under bevel, under style, you give it what? Stroke, emboss. Then under techniques, you leave it as smooth. Then under size, same thing. Then come to contour. When you come to contour, you leave it here. Then after that, the next thing now you come is what? Stroke. Stroke. When you come to stroke, you give it this brown color. If you are not sure of the brown color, just leave it as normal. Then this is it. Then you come to inner shadow. Then the inner shadow now is where you do what? You can see the color that I give it, this orange color. Then you leave everything like this. The distance is okay. You can see how everything is being set. It's very okay like this. Then the next thing we are going to do now, the next thing we are going to do now is to the inner shadow. The inner shadow, you can see the kind of the blending mode is on that screen. It's on that screen. Then the opacity is okay. Let me check the color. Let me check the color. The color, the inner shadow. Okay, it's okay. The inner glow is okay. So that's it. Then the next thing now is the gradient overlay. You can see the gradient overlay. You can see the color here. So I make it 3 color. This color is okay. And come here. This is the color FFF078. This is the same color. Then this is the same color. After you have done that, press OK. Then the last thing now you're going to do now is to give it the drop shadow. Under this drop shadow now, is where we are going to reduce it small. Reduce it small, the distance. Then the shadow a little bit. Alright. So you can see now. You can see the effect that we give to this work now. It looks like a test effect. So this is how you can equally make your test look good. Then, after we are done with this now, just press Ctrl T so that we can equally skew it. You right click on the test and come here, skew. Then drag it up and drag here. All right. So let us. All right. So for those that are still awake, so after you have done this now, the next thing now is to bring in the lens flare. Then you bring in the next flare. You rotate it. Then press Ctrl J for here. Then after you have done this, then come here to give it screen. Come here to give it screen. Then you can equally press Ctrl T to enlarge it the more. I'm so sorry because of the network. So for those that are still online, let's just wait till very soon we are rounding up. I just want to take you through on the process. So you come here now and flip it to horizontal. Then rotate this one. All right. So I'm sure now this is the only thing here now that is very, very profound. So after this thing now, we are going to now carry every other thing that we have here, both the tests and every other thing to put here, so that we can equally finish. So this one now is just a rectangle that is being added a shadow. So I use this rectangle to equally put their names. This evoke is not staying well. Let me rotate this thing. Okay. We lock it back. Then for here, all right. So I believe this is okay like this now. Then just come here now and just add the text or the text. Let me just find the text. Is there any text that is being locked? Just drag it and come and drop it here. So for the adding of text, you can equally go to my video on how to add text on Photoshop and watch it. I just carry every other thing here. Just come here. All right. So the next one now is to bring in this one. Let's Control T. Let's rotate this very well. I don't know. Let me check whether if there are still people that are still awake. I don't know if there are people still awake. Let me check. Because this class network has proven to be stubborn this night. Wow, Stanley, you're still awake. Wow, that's nice. And even, wow. Then you come here featuring okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I highlight the text so that we can equally round up the stuff. Featuring. Wow, these guys are still awake. Okay. Let's carry it here and bring it here. All right. So come here, carry this one, same way, and bring here. I know you guys understand all these things. I don't want to waste our time. That's why I'm taking the text that we have written already. Okay. Presenter. Yeah. Okay. Bring the text here. Then let's bring in this thing. This PNG. All this PNG, I will make sure that I will be dropping our resources on Telegram. I believe that will be okay for us. It will be okay for us so that we can easily gain access to them. I will try. So this stuff now, we're going to drag it down so that all the stuff in the down will equally showcase there. All right. So let's check here. Okay. The next one is the Methodist logo and the youth listing. Let us carry all of them and come here and drop here. For that. So let's touch the background. The background there. Let me unlock this background first. This top one now, let me enlarge it more. All right. Okay. So we are good to go. So I just, all this Methodist stuff, they like to bombard flyers with informations. That's why I struggle to make sure that the informations are being added. And the thing is that if you didn't add this information, or here for you. And again, whenever you are designing a flyer, make sure that the informations that they gave you, try to make them count. Let's try to make them count. Then these pictures of these people, let me reduce it a little bit. Control T. You bring it down a little bit. Alright. Then come down, just hold Control on your keyboard, then click on background and come here and centralize it. Alright. Then you come here, this place, this background, unlock it, then lock the picture. Then this one, now press Ctrl T to drag it so that we will see where we cut the picture off. Alright. I believe now it's okay. So you can see how we actualize this. I so much love you guys, the ones that are still awake till now. This shows that you are determined. So after you have done this now, you just hold Shift and click here to highlight all of them and press Ctrl J. After you press Ctrl J, you press Ctrl E. Ctrl J, Ctrl E. After you have done that, let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for it. All right. You can see now, you can see that. Let's highlight these ones. Yes, I will try and drop the tutorial on YouTube, but this is not supposed to be on YouTube, but since you guys are suggesting, fine. I can equally drop it on YouTube. Then press Ctrl J, Ctrl G. You can see all the whole work. So now, with this one now, you can equally go to, let's say that you want to use the camera raw presets. Here now, you can do your final stuff. Or if you don't have the camera raw preset, you can equally come here and do your own stuff here and customize it your own way. So here you can equally do your stuff. Can come to detailing and increase the noise, or even the distance, the sharpening. You can equally do this thing as you want. Then okay. Then after you are done, you can see the final. Before, after. So you can see it now. So after you are done now, you can equally come here. If you want to export the image, come to here, File, Export, Save for WAV. So that's it. Let's wait for it. Can equally wait for it. Then it's okay. Save for WAV. Can equally, let's just say evoke new, save. All right, so let's go and check the stuff. So this is July. Let's check the JPEG. More system is equally hanging. More 1 hour. Hey, we have spent time here. Even the audition self is even recording. I'll be ending this here. I'll be ending. Okay, let me wait for questions. You guys can equally ask questions. You can equally ask questions where you don't understand. You can equally ask questions. Ask questions. My system is hanging. It's lagging. What's going on here, Kwame? Oh, shh. Okay. To reshape the eye. Okay. I use the lasso, this thing. What's going on here? I use the polygon, what's the name of this stuff, self? Shh. I use the polygonal lasso tool. These two that I use now. This is the tool I use for reshaping the hair. I use it to cut out a little part. This polygonal lasso tool. So this was the tool that I used for doing that. Okay. Yes, Stanley. All right. Do you guys have any other question before we call it a day? Do you guys have any other question before we call it a day? Do you guys have any other question before we call it? Okay. The rectangular marking tool there, I use. Okay, let me show you now. This tool here now is this rectangular marking tool now is used for selection. All these things here is used for selection. Can you hear me? All the tools here now is used for selection. All the tools here now, they are used for selection. These tools here, they are used for selection. You can use it to select any part. So that's it. From this tool here to here, they are used for selection. Can you call it this one now? You can use it. It's used for selection. All right. Is there another question? Okay. Wow. All right. Okay, how you can fetch or put many images on the background. Okay. I've understand. Okay, let me just create another stuff here. Let me just create another stuff here now. From file, let me just create new new stuff now and bring another picture and bring another stuff so that you understand very well. Let me show you something. Where is that evoke? This background now, this is my background. Let me say I want to feed in the image on this background now. So this is my image now. I want to make sure that it's faded in the background. This picture, I want the image to fade very well in the background. So what I'm going to do now is just to use the brush, the eraser tool, and measure, see where the hardness is and see where the size is. Then after I've rasterize it, then I can equally let me reduce the distance. Let me increase the size. All right. Then you start painting like that. You can see it now. So have you seen it? So that's the way. This is the way you can do that now. So let me see if you have an app, you can now add all of them in the same stuff. You can equally, don't worry, there is a tutorial that I will drop next week on my listen how to feather in pictures inside the background. So I will drop that tutorial by next week because for now I will try and make sure. So I'm going to stop this video call. Thank you very much. Thank you, Gideon. Thank you, is he Hotibu? I don't sorry if I'm bothering your name. Thank you everyone. I'm so happy for you guys for staying till now. I'm so grateful. Please, for this sake, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? For this sake, I'm going to give you one of my book, how to get paying clients. Don't worry, but make sure that you be in the live class on the WhatsApp group on Sunday, where we are going to do the final stuff, and I'll be sharing with you guys how you can get clients. Make sure that you are in that class. Thank you very much, and God bless you. See you.